This newly released lens from the little-known Chinese manufacturers AstrHori is the Swiss Army knife of lenses, but is it any good? Well, today we're going to find out. As I've already hinted at, this lens has a lot of versatility in the way of features. First off, it has an 85mm focal length with a fast-ish maximum aperture of f2.8, making it a good choice for portraits, product photography, or even street photography. The lens body itself is made almost entirely from metal, meaning that it feels solid as a rock in the hand, and all of the dials and knobs on this thing operate nice and smoothly, including the D-click manual aperture ring. It's also able to shoot macro images at a 1:1 magnification. It's also a tilt lens, not to be confused with a tilt-shift lens. This is like that, but less shift and more tilt. It can make espressos. It can even pleasure your wife, all for less than $320, making it an extremely well-priced lens. However, that previous statement does come with a few caveats, and the biggest one for me is that it is a completely dumb lens, meaning that not only does it lack any autofocus functionality, but it also doesn't have any connectivity with your camera, so it won't be able to log stuff like the aperture value with your image's EXIF data. Also, the all-metal structure does come at the cost of it being fairly heavy, so if you are planning on shooting with this thing on an APS-C camera, expect this to feel very bulky and front heavy once mounted. Though on the front of my full frame cameras, this thing felt absolutely fine. However, one plus side to this lens being completely mechanical in nature is that the manual focus ring is super smooth and responsive. So none of that delay bullshit you sometimes get with electronic fly-by-wire systems. I have to admit the resistance on both the focus dial and the aperture dial is pretty heavy. Though I did find this to be a good thing, as it means refining the focus is a lot easier to do, especially when shooting up close. Now, as you would kind of expect with a macro lens, focus breathing is definitely a thing, as you can see here, and that certainly will trigger some videographers, so sorry. However, in our bokeh balls test, the orbs at the center are very nice and round, though they do rapidly turn into half moon shapes as they near the edges of the frame. In terms of general bokeh quality, this thing is capable of capturing a pretty nice result, to be honest. It's not the smoothest bokeh I've ever seen, but for an f2.8 lens, I'm really not disappointed with this result. You know, if you ignore the glaring amounts of fringing, but more about that in a moment. In our lens flare test, this thing handles itself pretty well, with only a small amount of ghosting and artifacting littering the results. Which is a good thing, to be honest, because despite this lens having what appears to be a bayonet mount around the front of the lens, it doesn't actually come with a lens hood in the box. On a longitudinal chromatic aberration test, things get pretty colourful, to say the least, with prominent lime green fringing and blue fringing all over the test chart. Fringing aside, I've got to admit, when shooting out in the real world with this thing, it is super fun to shoot with and offers just so much creative potential. Now, I'm not the best when it comes to manual focus, however, even when shooting wide open at f2.8, with my chip-like abilities, I've still managed to walk away with plenty of sharp shots. Of course, I was only shooting a stationary subject, and if you did want to start shooting moving objects with this lens, then it probably would take a bit more practice. Now, although this lens is designed for full-frame cameras, it turns out that if you do push the tilt too far, it will create a sizable vignette to one side of your image, meaning that this function is best suited to shooting in APS-C crop mode or actually on an APS-C camera. So aside from creating quirky blur effects in your portraits, what else is this tilt functionality good for? Well, I'm glad you asked. So this tilt function allows you to alter the angle of the plane of focus, either left, right, up or down, depending on how you have the lens positioned. So one example of where this could be useful is with product photography, where you have a line of items like this, but you want to keep all of them pin sharp within the image. Now, of course, with a standard lens, the only way you'd really be able to do this is either by shooting them all face onto the camera, which of course limits your creativity, or by using a smaller aperture to deepen the depth of field, but at the sacrifice of that nice background blur. However, with a tilt lens, you can technically keep your creative product positioning and the shallow depth of field, because instead all you need to do is adjust the tilt to angle the focal plane at a diagonal, and this way all of the items stay in focus and you have a nice blur at the front and back of the image. Anyway, let's talk about image quality now, and when we look at these lens charts results, we can see that this lens has no distortion. When we zoom in, we can see at the center, at f2.8, it resolves a fairly sharp image with a decent amount of contrast despite the colored fringing. At the corners, things do get a little bit softer and there is a bit more of that green fringing. The minimum focusing distance of this lens is around 12 centimeters from the front element of the lens. And when shooting at this distance, the results are actually pretty impressive, even when shooting wide open at f2.8. So, the question still remains, should you buy this lens? lenses? Well, honestly, it really depends on what you're buying it for. If you're just looking for an affordable 85mm portrait lens, then really don't bother, because there are plenty of other 85mm lenses for around the same price that will offer far superior image quality, and they have autofocus to boot. However, if you're shopping on a budget and you're looking for a lens that's got you covered in a whole range of scenarios, whether it's taking headshots, shooting macro images, or even getting creative with product photography, then this could potentially be the all-in-one solution that Sony shooters have been waiting for.